Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Wednesday, July 2nd. It is 6:23 right now. We got market opening up in about 7 minutes. So I pretty much marked everything up so far. If you guys pulled up the daily outlook, over here we have a neutral to bullish outlook for the day with regard to bias. YM is currently holding above the 44,800 VWAP and retesting the overnight high at 44,960. Momentum's modestly bullish, but key resistance at 45,000 has not yet been breached. So it kind of depends on like where price pushes from where we're currently at. Current price right now is 44,775. So if price pushes up higher to 45,000 and holds, then we'll likely have a breakout to the upside. Looking over here at the major trading levels, we have the overnight high at 44,960, overnight low at 776, VWAP between 44,800 and 820. We got key resistance at 45,000, which is what we mentioned earlier. If price breaks that key resistance, price may continue to push up higher. Support zone at 44,700 and 44,720. Lower support at 44,500 and point of control at 44,800. So you guys can see that here on my chart. You can't really see everything on the 1 minute, but if you zoom out on the 5 here, you can kind of see things a little bit better. So you can see prices right here down the middle. We have resistance up here, support down here. We have the point of control and support one in the middle. So depending on what price pushes, we'll kind of see where price ends up going from there. If you guys are looking to take some sweeps, possible sweep area be right here around the central pivot zone, but we are in a bullish bias, so you probably want to look for sweeps from the bottom end. So if that's the case, your sweep's probably going to be down here at the support zone. So if you're looking to take a sweep from down below, it's going to be at this level. Ideally, this is where I'd look for a sweep. I mean, again, you have multiple options on the chart, so it's really up to you where you want to take it. But for the most part, my bias for today is bullish. Well, it's neutral bullish, so ideally, I think this would be the better option. Otherwise, if you want to trade both ways, you can also take a sweep from up here. So again, it's just such a preference. Um, there's a ton of different entries you guys can take. It's just really up to what you want to take yourself. But ideally, I think this here would be the best option. We'll be looking for the 2 minute orb or 2 minute momentum orb as well. So we'll be looking at that once price opens up, and then we'll go from there. So let's see what's here so far. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Steven. Morning, everybody. All right, we got market opening up in about 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes, and we are good to go. Hey, Christian, morning. All right. So, all right, we got price kind of sitting right here. It's knocking out liquidity as price drops down lower. I mean, obviously, there's no entries here for us to take at the moment, but it is knocking out liquidity here as price continues to drop to a lower point. If you're looking to take the original breakout for today, it looks like it might be a sell. We don't know yet until we get closer to 629. But again, if you guys are just joining in, I've marked up pretty much all the levels here. A lot of different things to look at. We got market opening up shortly in about 3 minutes. Again, if you guys are just joining in, there's two levels of liquidity sweeps that you guys may be looking to take. My overall bias for today, again, is neutral bullish. Rationale for this is that price is holding above 44,800. A bullish push will probably happen closer to the 45,000, which is probably not going to get hit by today. I mean, it could if price reaches this R2 up here, key resistance. Um, I mean, who really knows, right? We don't really know until market opens up. The ATR is kind of low right now. It's around 9 ATR, but this is about 200 points away. So we'll see how volatility picks up here when market opens up. Overall, though, we are looking at why I'm looking a bit bullish. I think we had news this morning too. So we had news over here at 5:15. It was high impact. So I'll mark that up real quick. 5:15, which is this huge candle right here. That was news. And then we just got gas stock change at 7:30. Nothing really too important. All right, 6:28. We got market opening up in about a minute. So again, guys, if you guys are looking to take entry here, looks like the breakout for today will possibly be a sell. Once I confirm that, this is just a regular breakout. If you guys are looking for the 2-minute orb, I'll have that marked up as well once market opens up. 2-minute orb is probably the one that you want to pay attention to. There's two different options. If you guys are looking to take that entry, you can take it for a 1-to-1, 50-50, or you can take it for a 1-to-2, 50-100. The 1-to-2 yields more profits long term, but the obviously the 1-to-1 has a higher win rate. So it depends on, again, on your preference, which you guys would like to take for that specific strategy if you're looking to enter that there. Hey, Sam, morning. All right, guys, looks like we got market opening up shortly. Hey, Lila, morning. All right, so breakout, the original breakout, momentum breakout is a sell for today, guys. If you guys are looking to take the 2-minute order, which I do highly recommend waiting for because I prefer to take limit orders, just wait for that. I'll have that in about 2 minutes. We got market opening up shortly in about 30 seconds here. Again, if you guys are looking to take liquidity sweeps, there's a couple options right here. You have a possible sweep up here if you're looking to take the price up and swing back down. And then we have a possible sweep down here if you're looking for price to come down and sweep back up. Ideally, I would go for the lower sweep because my bias for today is bullish, but again, it's up to your preference if you want to take either sweep there. All right, we got price. And there goes the opening bell. Market is now open. Market is open, but the volatility is still pretty low. So we got price pushing up right here. Look for a possible sweep over here if you guys are looking for that upper sweep. Again, I don't know if I'd take the upper sweep, but it is currently active and running in profit right now. That upper sweep is currently pushing. It's on its way down. Looks like it already hit 20 points if you guys are going for that 20-point move, but 30 points looks like it just got hit as well. All right, so full TP right there on that sweep, guys, if anybody caught that. Quick sweep to the downside, price came up, swept at this area right here within the VWAP zone. Came back down, hit its TP right there. So if you guys took that, nice work. If you guys didn't take it, it's completely fine. Yeah, Sam said day before NFP, watch for consolidation. Exactly, yeah. I'll be watching for that. So full TP right there on that first sweep, guys, for you guys who caught it. My bias for today was bullish, so I didn't really look to take the sweep here from this specific level. I'll be looking for the next entry here, though. So looking at this here, I'll be looking for possible high-low break and retest from this level right here. Also, I'll be looking for the 2-minute orb. So once this candle here closes, we're going to have a couple different opportunities here. This could be a possible high-low break and retest if anybody's looking to catch that right there. I'm probably going to hold off on this one because this candle is huge. It's pretty big compared to the others. It's about a 80 point candle. Yeah, I'm going to hold off on this one right here. This candle is way too big. Huge, huge candle right there, guys. So if you guys are looking to take this for a high-low break and retest, your entry would happen right over here at the at this lower low. I mean, it's probably not going to get filled, but if you are looking to take it, if it fills on this following candle, this is a high-low break and retest. Like I said, this candle here is way too big, so it's not one that I personally look to take. We also have the sweep level right here that's currently running. But like I said, this candle here is way too big, so I'm not really trying to mess with this candle here at all. The 2-minute orb is currently running for a sell right now if anybody's looking to take this as well. We'll use this as a confluence. If you guys want to take this, I'll be following it for you guys here. Again, I just, this candle here was too big, so I'm not really looking to get into anything here at this very moment. I'll follow it, but Yeah, the 2-minute orb is currently running right there now in profit, or not really in profit. It's kind of just running. So this right here is the 2-minute momentum orb. 2-minute momentum orb. Basically, we had the high of the orb right here, low of the orb right here. Price, actually, sorry, this isn't active yet. My bad, guys. This candle has to break below it. So what we need to see here for this orb, if you guys are looking to take this orb, is we need price to break and close below it. I just realized price hasn't broke below it yet. So what you're going to look for here is you're going to look for price to break below. It's got to break below this area. It has to swing back up, fill it, and then come back down. It hasn't broke below yet, so there's no orb there filled yet. This is where it becomes tricky because there's a lot of entries that may come up at around the same time. This high-low break and retest did not fill, so there's no high-low break and retest right there. We'll have to look for another opportunity as price continues to move along further. However, the sweep here is currently running. Not in the sweep because this candle was too big. I'll take my chances and then wait for the next one. We're currently in the support zone right now. So this zone right here where price is stuck in, this is the support zone, it's the prior demand zone and an EMA cluster. So it's an area for price to possibly bounce from. Doesn't have to bounce from here, but an area that it may possibly bounce from. We got some consolidation happening right here as well. Try to clean this up a little bit. All right, so it looks like the orb may fill right here. So this is going to be at 703. If anybody's trying to get in right there for the orb, I missed it. It filled too fast. Um, See, I'm going to hold off on it for right now because this thing, like I said, this candle is too big. So I'm looking for a possible retracement up. But if you guys are looking to take the orb right there, the orb looks like it just filled at that moment. Yeah, Sam said price may come down to 44,638, 44,550, staying out and watching price action. Yeah, so the orb here is currently running, guys. Let's see, the 50 is going to be right here. I'll put a line where the 50 is at. I can get into it because it filled too fast and I don't want to FOMO into the trade. Also, this candle again, I said, is just way too big. So I was worried that price was going to retrace up to the halfway mark and then come back down. That's usually what happens when the candle's too big like that. But the orb is currently running for profit right here. We have the 50 mark at this black line, and then we have the 100 mark a little bit lower. I'll look for the next follow-up entry. So I'll look for a high-low break and retest for price to either come back, break below it and continue dropping from there. But I'm not going to get into this here. It looks like the 50 almost got hit right there. Not fully, but almost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this 2-minute orb as a confluence. So I'll look for some sell entries within this orb here. Looks like the 50 is about to get hit. It's being a little cautious today. 50 points just got hit right there for the orb. If you guys are not familiar with the orb just stands for opening range breakout. It's just an acronym. Damn, that would have been a good entry right there. I should have got into it, but it's okay. I'm going to wait for the next one here. I'm just going to look for price to push up and then come back down lower. So solid 50 points right there for the orb. For me, I'm probably going to go for the 50 points when I take the orb here. Yeah, because you can see where price is now starting to swing back up. This isn't to say that price isn't going to come back down, but like I said earlier, this candle here was huge, so it's due for retracement. So what I'm going to be looking for here personally is I'm going to be looking for price break and retest below this point here. So looking for price to establish a low here, push up a little bit, maybe retest this area, establish a high, come back below, and drop from there. Or what you guys can look for here is an MPSV2 as well. So there's a lot of different sell opportunities that may come up right here. We have a sell signal, retracement. If you get a red candle following, that's going to be an MPSV2. So if you want to get in right away from above at MPSV2, you can. If you want to wait for the retest or price to come back lower, then you can wait for that as well. I'm going to wait for price to come back lower because I want some confirmation that price is actually going to keep dropping. So Sam's price point is going to be right here at 638. This is his target area for price to come down and reach. That's going to line up with the break and retest below. So now it's just a waiting game, guys. Depending on what you guys want to take, there's a possible MPS V2 standing up right here. If the candle closes red, that's going to be an MPS V2 for a sell. ATR is currently at 23, so you might want to go for a smaller target, 25, 25. So this is an MPS V2 currently running. I'm not in this position here. Like I said, I don't like taking market orders. I like waiting for limit orders to come up and fill. The thing is, this lower low here hasn't confirmed yet, so I am waiting for confirmation here. The thing is, the overall bias for today is still bullish, guys. So this thing could still swing back up. The thing with this, though, with it swinging up, is that this can happen at any time. It doesn't have to happen right now. It can happen, 2 hours from now. It could happen later in the mid-session. It's like what happened yesterday and the day before. Yesterday and the day before, we had a bullish bias, and price ended up shifting like later in the day. It pushed down initially, and then it came right back up. So I'm not in this position right here, guys. What I'm looking for again is I'm looking for price to establish this low. I'm gonna look for it to come back down, break and retest from this area, and drop lower from there. The orb's still running. It's currently at entry point. Again, depending on like what your TP stop loss would be, if you went for the 50 already got hit. Ideally, I'd go for the 50 because the 100 is a little bit of a stretch. If you do want to just take the orb though, so if you're an orb only trader, like if this is the only strategy you're taking, I highly suggest you go for the 100 because the stats to show that the 100 does work better long term. But if you're taking multiple entries, you want to get in and out as quickly as possible. So the 50 would be better for me personally because I'm going to be looking for other entries in this direction. So we're starting to get a correction to the upside. This is what I pretty much expected. Like I said earlier, my bias for today was neutral to bullish. This tends to happen. This is what happened on Monday. This is what happened on Tuesday. Price initially came down, and then later on in the day, it came right back up because the bias is still bullish. This doesn't mean I'm going to switch to just buys though. I'm going to be taking trades in both directions. I just have a slight bias for the day. It's not bullish, it's neutral to bullish. So this means that it can be bearish at any time, meaning it can be bearish temporarily like it is right now, or it can switch back to bullish at any point as well. So unless this was like bullish, I would only look for buys, but it's neutral to bullish. So this means it can go bearish at any point in time, and then it can swing back up at any point in time as well, which is what's happening here. Price initially was dropping, and now it's correcting back up. So right here, there's nothing to take at this very moment. If you're looking for another sweep may happen right here. We have another liquidity level, or we have two liquidity levels right here at the central VWAP. So we got price right now currently pushing up. Haven't gotten into any positions yet so far. The orb's still running. I'm not in this orb though. I'm just using this as a confluence. So what I'm going to be looking for here is if this here comes right back down, I'm going to expect that full 100 to get hit. If it doesn't come back down, then I'm going to be expecting price to push back up higher. Right? So we're using this here as a confluence. This is now going to be the range. So if price breaks above, we might be getting in the opposite direction. So we got a buy signal here that's currently pending. We have a new high that's established. So this is perfect. Now that we have the high that's established, we can wait for price to come back down and retest this area. That's going to be one opportunity to take. If I'm looking for buys here, I need price to push up higher and go from there. Only thing here is that we have the sessions right in the middle. So just going to be patient here. Just going to wait for any opportunities that may come up. But right now we just have price sitting around the support zone. So nothing here yet. The volatility well, the volatility is pretty decent, but the candles are moving sideways right now. So we got sideways move here, but the ATR is currently at 23, so it's not horrible. Here we go, as price comes back down. All right, we have a new liquidity right here. So we'll see what happens here. Price may range within this area. That's one scenario. Other scenarios, price may break below, retest, and drop lower from there. So a couple different setups. Yeah, a couple different setups here, depending on where price goes. Again, if price drops lower, then we may get that break and retest. If price pushes up higher, then we may get that reversal back to the upside. Either scenario is open game because our bias for today was bullish, so I wouldn't be surprised if it does reverse here and come right back up. Like I said, this bullish swing could happen at any moment. It could happen right now. It can happen in 2 hours. It can happen at the end of the day. I'm expecting price to be bullish, but it doesn't have to happen right now. It's neutral bullish. So again, if price pushes back above 44,800, then that's probably going to be where price is going to confirm that it's going to push up higher. So basically 44,800 is going to be right here. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened with my markets here. Had connection lost right now. Let me try to refresh this. I don't know what happened with my chart. Okay, there we go. Anyways, so what I just said right now was our daily bias. If price pushes up to 44,800, which is going to be this point of control right here, if price pushes above this area, then we're probably going to get a bullish push higher. So this is going to be the key area here. We're going to be looking for this to confirm. If this here can confirm, then we'll be looking for possible push to the upside. If this doesn't confirm, then price may stay below, right? Because we're neutral to bullish for the day. So I mean, it's either going to stay here in the middle, and then eventually, if it pushes up, it's going to push up to here and break up higher. Or if it stays below this point, it's going to probably range until it drops below, break and retest, and come back down further from there. But you can see here the range is starting to confirm. It's really just starting to range within this middle zone here, which is fine. If that's the case, you can look for possible sweeps. I mean, there's no sweeps here right now, but possible sweeps at some point. So the orb is still running, guys. This orb is still running. There's still a chance for this thing to come back down further. So I'm not gonna put out any possibility for it to come back down further because it can still come down further. We have a new liquidity here, or it's pending actually. We have a pending liquidity right here still on the bottom end. So if we have a pending liquidity right here, this could be a possible another setup for a high-low break and retest. The only problem here is that price is ranging super hard. So we don't want to take directional entries when price is ranging super hard like this, right? We want price to climb. So either climb or drop. So looking at this right here, if price decides to climb up higher, then I could possibly look for some high-low break and retest from these upper levels. But if it doesn't, then I'm gonna look for price to come back down below here. Looks like price is trying to climb out right now, but it's still sitting within this middle range. All right, just got to give it some time here. Looks like that orb there barely hit TP. Like it literally came down, triggered it, and then it swung back up. So we'll see here if price comes back down. If it doesn't, that's completely fine. All right, not much going on right here, guys. You guys can see price is starting to squeeze. This is fine. We'd like the squeeze to happen, right? We want a squeeze here to happen because what happens after a squeeze is a breakout. So just got to be patient. Just got to wait for that breakout to confirm. Once that breakout confirms, we'll start looking for trades in that direction. All right, we got price pushing up right now. I'm fine with it squeezing within this area because we can't really take buys here anyways. I need price to push like way up here before I can really take anything. Let's see, Sam said 44,752 is my sell response, and 44,814 will be a good sweep unless Trump. I'll let you finish your message. Yeah, so let's see. 44,814. Okay, yeah. So Sam over here is looking for a possible sweep around my sweep area right here, which is perfect. It lines up exactly with mine. He's trying to get in for a sweep at 44,814, which is going to be pretty much it's exactly at my level. I'm just at 88.13, so or 44,813, just a point below. But Sam's sweep level is right above it by 1 point. So basically, what Sam's looking for right here is he's looking for a sell response around 44,752. It's a pretty big range right there. So basically, yeah, Sam's looking for a response around this area, and then his sweep level is going to be from right there, which lines up with mine up there. So we're good. I mean, we're both kind of lined up around the same area. We have two levels of liquidity right here, but there's not much movement. You guys can see here, it's literally just inching sideways. So again, if you guys are not familiar with my playbook, I'm mainly looking at just a few entries, really just 3 entries for myself. So my daily trading playbook is a directional strategy, which is a high-low break and retest or MPS V2, sideways strategy, liquidity sweeps or V1 variations, and breakouts, either 2-minute momentum orb or the momentum breakout. So right now, I'm mainly looking for, I mean, basically these two. The breakout's currently running right now, so we'll come back and take a look at that. Looks like price is finally back at entry point. We still have a further target here, so the further target's going to be at 100. 50 already got hit, which is what I would have aimed for, but we'll take a look. Looks like this opening range low is going to be the key area to focus on. If price can hold below that point, price may drop further. If it doesn't hold below that point, price may push back up. But yeah, I'm looking for a possible high-low break and retest. The thing with this here is that we're stuck in a range. So the problem with this is that, the directional strategies aren't going to be as strong. Right now, the sideways strategies are probably going to be your best option, but there's no sweeps around where we need them to be. We got sweeps, but they're outside the area, right? We got a sweep down here. We got a sweep right here. You want to take a sweep where there's confluence, which there isn't any confluence here right now. So again, I'll just show you guys over here real quick since we got some open time. So here's my playbook for the day, guys. Basically, this is what I'm looking to apply every single day. I'm only looking for 3 different types of entries. When price is moving directional like this or down like this, then I'll be looking to take my directional strategy, right? When price is going back and forth like this, which is what's currently happening right now, it's not really a big range, but it is going sideways. I'll be looking to take my sideways strategy, which is liquidity sweeps or V1 variations. And then the breakouts happen every day. So we don't have to think about this because they're going to happen regardless. But the main things that I'm looking for is going to be these two strategies right now. It's just not really panning out because price is consolidating. So we're typically looking for this bigger range. Right now, it is consolidating sideways very slowly down here. So if you guys are looking to take that break and retest, there may be a possible opportunity for entry right here. I think this one might be a good one, honestly, because we do have the confluence over here with the 2-minute orb. So the 2-minute orb is still running. Again, the target for this is going to be 100 points. If we do go for that full move. So orb entry would be right here at, or not orb, the break and retest entry would be right here at 681. Be looking if I could maybe get into that right there. Price has got to come down below though. It's not anywhere near where it needs to be yet. So we got 10 seconds on this candle right here. We would need price to break and close below this higher low. And then when it breaks below, we're going to look for that retest for entry. Let's see, Sam said, Sean, what's your plan here? So the main thing that I'm looking for, because we currently have a confluence here, right, for a sell. The 2-minute orb is still running. What I'm going to be looking for here is for price to break below this structure, which is the higher low, and then retest it. So I'd have a limit order just waiting right here at 460 or 44,681, and I look for it to push down lower from here. That's one scenario. The problem with this here is that price is ranging, consolidating. So this is going to be kind of tough to take the entry because it's not really moving directional. This is going to be one of those entries where it's going to be kind of tricky because we typically want price to be, moving directional. Right now, it's not really moving directional, but because we have a confluence here with the orb, if it does break below this point, I can actually see it drop further. So if that's the case, 30 points isn't a long way to go. 30 points will be to this next level right here. Price didn't break below, so right here, looks like this is going to be invalidated if this new lower low becomes confirmed. And again, we just wait a little bit longer. So there's nothing to take right now, guys. Still waiting for this here. Steven is asking, Sean, is your robot active? Yesterday I didn't hear it. Yeah, it's active. All right, this could be the possible break and retest right here, guys. We watching to put my order in there. Candle's closing in about 10 seconds. It has to for sure close below. It can be spiking around this area. So, all right, put my order right there.
Order submitted.
So it filled it right there for the, this is the high-low break and retest. Looks like it's currently active now. I'm taking a partial risk on this here, so it's not going to be a super big risk for me. I'm still taking a third of my risk per trade, guys, so I can take 3 trades for the day. 3 trades are going to equal 1 loss for me with regard to risk. So if this here doesn't work out, it's fine. I'll be looking for the next entry to recoup it. Like I said, this here is a little bit of a tricky entry because price is currently ranging. But I could see it push down to maybe that area right there, which is a 30. This is going to be in confluence with the orb here, because the orb is still running to 100. The next target here is going to be down here at the 100 price point. So we're currently sitting around the entry point right now. Still got some space around here. My buy stop's a little higher. I think this is 30, unless I got some slippage on it. I mean, either way, my entry is where it needs to be. Might be off by like a point or so, but it looks fine to me. All right, so we're back into that range. Like I said earlier, this is where it becomes a little tricky because when you're stuck in this range right here, the directional strategies are going to be, I mean, they're not going to be super directional. Looks like price is pushing back into this upper range right here. So if it stops me out again, it's fine. I'll be looking to dip back in on the next opportunity to recoup this. I was hoping it was going to break and retest and just come down lower, but looks like we got faked out right here and price is pulling back into the range. I mean, who knows? Price can come back down from this point. There's still opportunity for it to retest. It looks like it could have retested the support here and then came back down. But again, we'll see. Again, the orb is right here at the entry point. It's still kind of just sitting there. Still in the position right there. It's just a hard consolidation down the middle. I got stopped out. It's okay. Stopped out for a partial right there. I'll be looking for the next opportunity. So like I said earlier, these directional entries are tricky because we're in this consolidation zone. It's easy to get faked out around these areas, but there's still opportunity for it to come down lower from here. So took that loss right there. Be looking for the next entry here to hop back in, but there's nothing here at the moment. All right, again, the orb is still running right now. The orb has been pretty much active for, let's see, it's been active for about 27 minutes now. So that's a long time for this to be running. Yeah, Sam said, thanks, but I do not want to trade this piano dead momentum, waiting for it to get out of this range. Yeah, me too. I mean, I was hoping it was going to get out of the range on that entry right there, enough for it to break below and to continue down lower, but it didn't actually happen. Right now, we just got faked out, pulled back into this upper range here. So, all right, now we will wait for the next opportunity. So for today so far, guys, there was a couple entries that came up. We had the 2-minute momentum orbit that came up here. It hit for 50 points. That was a TP for 1-to-1. We had the sweep, which happened from up here, and then I was trying to get into the high-low break and retest from here, but price ended up faking out, pulling back into the range. I was hoping for it to break below and then drop down to this lower level, but didn't happen. Price is now kind of just sitting within this area. If you guys want to take a sweep, there could be a possible sweep from up here, but I would be careful with taking the sweep because like I said earlier, we're stuck in this range right now. So what could happen is another fake out. Price can come up, fake out with the sweep, and then come right back up higher and break out of this range. So this is kind of what we expected. Sam kind of talked about this earlier. He mentioned, this is the day before NFP, expect consolidation, and that's literally what we got here so far. We got some market consolidation as price prepares for the breakouts tomorrow. All right. Let's see. So nothing here is happening yet, guys. Price is still consolidating sideways. All right, we don't really got much going on here. Price is still consolidating sideways right here. If you guys are looking to take or try to attempt to take another break and retest, you have the opportunity right here off this lower low. Um, Again, I don't know if you guys want to take it. Like I said, I got kind of caught in the fake out right here. The fake out might happen again, or it might not. So it's like I said, the orb here is still running, so we have a confluence here for a sell. So there may be another break and retest that may actually work out right here on this one. Only problem here is that we're in this consolidation. I'm going to think about it. I'll give a few more moments for me to maybe get into this break and retest. The thing with this here is that I just don't want to get caught in the fake out like I just did right here, right? So I was hoping we'd get a stronger response. I mean, right here, this was a pretty strong response at this red candle. We also had a sweep from up here. So we had a pretty nice confluence for price to drop lower. This entry right here was a good setup. If you were to do the analysis over again, this here was a good setup, but it still hit stop. So there's no guarantee that this is going to drop any lower. You just have to you'd have to take that risk if you feel confident about it. So if you guys feel confident about this entry right here, if this candle closes below this blue line, this will be opportunity for break and retest. However, just be aware that you could get faked out again, just like we did right here. Because now if I go back and I just and I kind of just reanalyze this entry right here, this over here was ideally it was a good entry, to be honest. Like looking at this here, if you look let's see, there's no entry here right now. So let me just go back real quick. I'll replay it for like 1 second. So our entry over here from the initial break and retest, this was a pretty decent setup because we had a confluence with the orb. We had price breaking close below here. It was a pretty nice strong red candle. And then we had the sweep, which happened from this upper area right here. So we basically had a nice confluence for price to break and retest and drop lower. However, that wasn't the case here, right? Price faked out and it pulled back into the range. So same thing with this here. This could be another decent setup. We have a possible sweep from the pivots right there. So if price does break below, that could be a nice setup. However, there's no telling because we're stuck in this range right now. Or this isn't even a range. I'd consider this consolidation. The bigger range is going to be right here between this area. Strong 12. Yeah, so the bigger range is going to be between this bigger area right here. But right now, price is in between that range, and it's just consolidating right down the middle. See, Sam's asking, what do you think of 44,617 buy sweep, Sean? 44,617. For me personally, I don't have anything down here, Sam. So I don't have any, I don't really have a opinion on that area right there. There's no confluences for me down there. The next support level is going to be at 44,500. Yeah, so we might get liquidity down there for sweeps, but like eventually, if price does come down to that area, we might get possible sweep areas lined up, but there's no confluence, so it's not really something that I'd personally be looking to take. We still have the orb here running. This is again why I don't like taking the 100-point orb because you have to hold on to it pretty much the entire day. Not that I don't think this is going to hit. I think that eventually this will probably come down and hit. The reason for that is that price hasn't really pushed above yet, right? It's kind of just been sitting around this area. You know what? Now that I'm looking at this right here, the loss that we took right there, this was just an unlucky loss now that I'm looking at it because price did come back down where it was supposed to. So for the most part, it just seems like we got faked out right there. All right, at this point right here, we have another possible break and retest. So if we get another break and retest from this lower area, guys, I'll probably get into it. I think right here, I just got caught an unlucky spike to the upside. I mean, the setup did look good, but it looks like price here just pulled back into the range and then came right back down. It does look like price is still trying to drop lower though. So I might try to get in here for another sweep. Like I said, guys, I half or not half, I cut my risk into thirds. So in order for me to have one full loss, which is about 2,500 for the day, I would need to take three back-to-back losses. So this is the reason why I minimize my risk so I can take multiple entries. Because this is what happens a lot of the times. I get faked out and then the next trade hits and I'm not able to take the next trade because I took my full risk on one trade. So I'll be looking to get into this here if I do have the opportunity to get into it. All right, just gotta wait for price to break below this point here. I'm looking for price to break below this lower low. You have a pending low right here, but I'm gonna be looking for price to break below it, retest, and I'll try to ride this down lower. Again, I'm still using the orb here as my confluence. So the sells here look good. It's just getting caught in these fake outs is what's screwing my trades up. Um, Yeah, because overall price is still bearish here if we look at all the time frames. So looking over here on the lower time frames, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute are all bearish, right? Price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. 30 minute is shifting to bearish, 1 hour is shifting to neutral, 4 hour is bullish, but this is on the very high time frame. We don't really care about what's happening on the super high time frame. We care about what's happening right here. Let's see, PC said the momentum is not clear. We clearly rejected off the 10-minute demand and the follow through to the downside is light. Yeah, I agree. There's no confirmation here. It's tricky. All right, we have the possible high-low break and retest right here at this level, guys. Price would have to break and close below this point. So we'll see the entry is going to be at 668, 44,668. It's got to like for sure close below there though. If it doesn't close below it, then this level here will probably get invalidated. And then we'll probably have to wait for the next one. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to close below it. All right, so nothing there, guys. Um, yeah, at this point, this here would have to push below this lower low right here. If it doesn't push below this lower low has been invalidated already because this one's now lower. So I'll follow it here if it drops past it, and it did right there. So there's still opportunity for entry right here for high-low break and retest, guys. It's at 668. I'll try to get in right here to recoup my last trade. We got 25 seconds left. The candle has to close below it. So basically, this candle has to close below this blue line right here. If it doesn't close below the blue line, there's no entry there for a high-low break and retest, and you'll have to wait for the next time for price to break below it. So I'll be watching here. We got about 5 seconds left, and I'll try to get in right here. If it doesn't fill on this following candle, then I'm going to cancel it.
Order submitted.
So I got my pending order waiting right there at the 668. We'll see if price is ready to drop from here. Hasn't filled my entry yet, so if it doesn't fill within the next 30 seconds, I will be canceling this. So it looks like it's now filled. So this is 2 of my 3 chances for the day, guys. 2 of my 3 chances. We'll see here if I can recoup my loss on the last trade here. We got price running with the orb over here. It's pushing down to the 50. So it's almost at that 50 mark. I'm gonna look and hope for that breakout to happen here, like a big, strong red candle to break below. Our trade's currently in profit about 5 points, 10 points, 12 points, 15 points. I'm gonna hold on to it for the full 30. ATR is currently at 18 right now. So the volatility is not super, super high, but it is currently at 18. Slightly in profit right now. Again, I'm expecting this to push down to fill the rest of the gap here, or not the gap, but the rest of the the orb. But again, this will probably take some time. But I'm taking half risk. So like I said earlier, guys, if you guys would lower your risk, you'd feel a little more comfortable with positions because I'm not really like taking my full risk per trade. So if I win a trade or I lose a trade, I'm not going to be making a lot of profit, but I'm also not going to be losing a lot either for my losses. So it kind of gives me that balance there. It gives me opportunities to take multiple entries per day. Um, so if the trade doesn't play out how I want it to, I can have another opportunity to jump in. Or if it does, then great, it hits our direction or price. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to break below the 50 or, wherever the 50 was earlier for the orb and come back down lower from here. Like I said earlier, though, the price direction here is not very directional. It's been very choppy and consolidating right here. So I think if price can break below this level here, we're going to have a nice push to the downside. So trade's still running in profit right there, but it's just taking a long time for it to actually move. There's nothing in the area here. There's no red flags. I mean, the next target below, if price does drop any further, is going to be like way down here. We got the lower support at 44,500. No news for today. We have a gas stock change at 7:30, but that's pretty much it. So just gotta let the trade breathe. All right, again, I'm looking for that 50 price right there. If the price would drop below the 50, then I'm expecting a further drop lower. Looking over here at the market profile, there's nothing here. So again, if prices drop lower, we have a lot of direction here for price to come down to this lower area. All right, my trade is halfway in profit. It's at 15 points. Market profile here stands true. It's going to push down to this lower value low right here. I'm in profit about 20 points. It's almost at TP, 22 points in profit. Nice. Christian got out of that at 20, so he recouped his losses from the last trade. All right, solid work right there, Christian. I'm going for the 30 right there. We're below the 50 now. So like I said earlier, if this here stays below this point, I think it's going to drop down lower. The target area is going to be the 100 right here, of course, but for this specific entry that I'm in, aiming for that 30. I mean, I really just got to hold on to it at this point. Getting some retracement here. Let's check the 1-minute market profile. There's nothing really down here, even on the 1-minute. So if you look over here on the 1-minute market profile, the next level for price to hit is going to be, or for price to actually reach is going to be down here. All right, almost at my target. 30-minute market profile still has the direction to the downside. Price is pretty much below all structure here. So it's kind of climbing back up from this 50. That's where Christian. Yeah, so Christian made a small profit on that right there. Well, he made profit on top of his loss earlier because he took a loss earlier and then a profit on top. So Christian locked in 75 for the day so far. And David over here locked in about 200 per account. Nice work, David. All right, now we wait. Price is, again, it's just kind of ranging around this area. I was hoping when price got below the 50 there, it would just dump, but it's not there yet. So we'll keep watching that 50 right there. Again, if price stays below the 50, I think we're going to have some sort of breakouts to the downside. Um, yeah, I'm looking for it to hit the 100. I just don't know when it's going to hit. It's going to take some time. It's taking some time here. A lot longer than I like, but trade's still in profit right there. Again, I'm just holding on to it. I'll let it hit that 30 eventually. We got gas stock change at 7:30, which is right here. My cutoff time for trading is going to be at 8 o'clock. Man, this volatility is just way too low right now. All right, now we wait again. Wait for something here to happen. Looks like price is pulling back into the range, or it might just establish a lower range here. So what might happen here is you might get a lower range where price might just start to range down here. And again, I'll be looking for price to break below and aim for that lower 100 below down here. All right, not much going on here, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll keep watching here as price continues to, for the most part, bounce around. All right, we're stuck in the range again, which is, it's all good. That's kind of what the market's looking like today. Range consolidation for the most part. Let's see what is the ATR looking like right now? I mean, the ATR is it's pretty steady around like 18. So it's still kind of sitting right there on the 18. Any sweeps around here? Not really. Yeah, price didn't really sweep anything. All right, here we go with our snail movement. Again, I'm looking for price to stay below the 50 here. If it can stay below the 50, I'm expecting a breakout to the downside. We currently have a pending buy signal, or sorry, pending sell signal. Looks like we're going to start to get some momentum here now as we get closer to the gas stock change. Again, gas stock change is going to be right here at 7:30. It's not a high impact news event. It happens every Wednesday. Let's see. Yeah, PC said get that 20. Sam said missed my 44.6 38 by 3 points. Yeah, hopefully it drops down to your 638 and then that's around like where my TP's at. Like literally come down, let it tap my TP and then, swing if it needs to. Um, Drew said would have been nice sweep off the 50 mark of that orb, but against the trend and break and retest. Yeah, exactly. So we're back into this upper range. Again, there's nothing really around here. Price is kind of just floating in the open right now. Looking at the market profile, there's not really much around here. There's a value low, which is up here if price wants to retest that area. Um, but for the most part, it is I mean, it's kind of just sitting around this area now. The orb entry is still up here. So the original orb entry is up there. So this is a clear example of like why I don't like taking the 100-point orb is because a lot of times there's been a couple times where this thing runs until like 10 o'clock. So the orb basically runs for about like 3, 4 hours in a sense. And for me personally, I don't like holding on to positions for that long. That's just way too long. Okay, looking at this nice wick right here, this could be a possible sweep. I mean, there's no structure here that I can see for my like really on my end, but looks like it could be a sweep off the pivot right there. Yeah, Juice had only said that because of the ranging price action and nothing to push price. Yeah, exactly. It's just ranging price action right now. There's no structure nearby for price to really bounce off of, aside from the pivots. So I mean, yeah, if I turn on the pivots right here, price, it looks like this could be a sweep off the pivots right there. right? I mean, every time we get a sweep off the pivots like that, it's a pretty nice drop back to the downside. So this is like maybe the third retest of the pivots. And we'll see. I mean, I don't know. We'll see if the 100 points here actually gets hit eventually, but it's going to take some time. Let's see, PC said it's at demand. The ATR is currently at 18 right now. See if it rejects off that higher pivot, or it just comes back down from here. So what I typically like to see is if I do see a rejection, I like to see it off a red candle, kind of like this one over here. So we don't really have anything else coming up here. We have the gas stock change coming up at 7:30, but that's about it. So we'll see here if it rejects off the red pivot or if it just pulls below right now. I mean, this thing's been running for a long time. You guys can see we're pretty much, this thing's getting extended out super far. Ah, shit. I just got stopped out on that one. That's all good. All right, so unfortunately got stopped out on that position right there. Again, I'm at 2 out of 3 for the day. So I don't know if I'm gonna take another one. I don't even know if I'll get another one here. So we'll see if we could find another opportunity here. But like I said earlier, that the setup right here, price is still stuck within this range. So a lot of the directional entries here are they're just not playing out because price isn't breaking out of this range. Price has been within this middle area for a while now, pretty much the entire session. So market open right here at 6:30, price dumped below, and then it ended up just ranging here for the entire day. There's actually an MPS V2 here, it looks like, that went the opposite direction. So you guys can see here, when price is going sideways like this, you're going to have conflicting entries. So we had this entry right here, which was the break and retest. It got pretty close. It got down to like 27, 28 points. Um, for me, like in order to keep my risk management, I got to keep it for the full move. So I didn't cut it down any lower for this specific trade. Normally I would sometimes if the market was kind of slow. But I expected price to drop lower since the confluence is pointing in this direction. Again, the setup here was fine. It was just the market here isn't moving directional. It's going back and forth. We did have an MPSV2 which came up right here, which CJ mentioned. So we had a buy signal here, price retraced, confirmed right there. And this is where things kind of get a little sticky because in a situation like this, we're looking for a sell for the break and retest, but then for the MPSV2 actually pushed to the upside. So. Nice work on catching that right there, CJ. So CJ said took the MPSV2 for 20 points right there. There were conflicting entries. There were entries in both directions. We had the break and retest below, and then the MPSV2 to the opposite direction right here, which is all good. That's just part of the market, guys. We kind of expected consolidation to happen today because today is the day before NFP tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, this is how the game goes, and I'll keep rolling with it, I guess, at this point. I'll see if I can get one more entry. So if I get one more entry, that'd be great so that I can recoup some of my losses. But if not, I'm not going to be forcing any trades here. I'll be looking for something, but it's currently 7:28 right now. So we have about 30 minutes till 8 o'clock. You guys can see here, there's still not very much movement. If you guys are looking to take a possible sweep, your next sweep level is going to be right over here. So sweep level down here and a sweep level up here. All right, PC's in along at 664. Gonna add more at 664 if we revisit. Target is open supply level. Okay, gotcha. So PC got in at 664 down here. So you basically got the break and retest of the demand right there. And this is the beauty of trading, guys. Like the thing with trading is like it doesn't matter what your analysis is. You can be trading against the trend, with the trend. You can be trading bounces off structure. Um, it doesn't really matter. This is why it doesn't matter what strategy you apply, right? If you apply directional strategies, sideways strategies, breakout strategies, they can all be running against each other. And it just like some days certain strategies will work one way, other days certain strategies will work other ways. Like for example, the orb here is still technically running. I mean, this is probably gonna get hit at this point now. I think for my own like for my own sanity, I think I'd probably still stick with the one-to-ones for the orbs. Because like I said here, and as you guys can see, the 100 points is it's a long stretch. And for me to hold on to this position for how long? Let's see. This thing is running for almost an hour now. I think if I was to hold on to this orb for an hour and if it was to hit my stop loss, I would have been pretty upset, to be honest. Like it's been running for way too long. So I don't think I would be looking for the orb here really to run for this long. It's just way too long. All right, let's see what we got here. So price is still pushing up right now. We got gas stock change right here at 7:30. I'll put a pink line right there. All right, there's not much going on right now. Price is currently price is currently at the liquidity. So again, if you guys want to take that sweep, like I said, there's going to be different levels of sweep here. Possible sweep level right there, possible sweep level down here. Where was that previous sweep level? Okay, previous sweep level is right there. All right, this thing could possibly be pushing. So there's two different scenarios right here. Price could either reject off this area and be a sweep, because this is liquidity, right? I would go based off the ATR, so I'd probably do a 2020 here for sweep if you're looking to take it. Um, or it can break above it. So there was actually a break and retest right here that just so here's the thing with the break and retest, guys. We had a break and retest here that didn't work. Basically, two of them here that kind of got um, shaken out. There's another break and retest that happened right here. There's a lower high. Price broke above it. Retest right there for the shift back to the upside and already hit TP already, actually. A lot of entries here that are kind of conflicting with each other because there was a shift in trend. So you can see over here from the pivots, price pushed above the pivots, and now it's shifting back up. Yeah, PC said whatever happens here is important. Exactly. So we got price kind of sitting around this area up here. Looks like the orb might have been invalidated at this point. So there's nothing really going on right here right now, guys. Price did break and retested above this area here. So this, I mean, there isn't really much movement though, so we can't really confirm what's happening next from here. Let me see how far did price push from here. 735 right now. It's only pushed about 15 points. So I wouldn't say a full-on reversal is happening yet. Like this can easily just fake out and pull back into the range. I would just wait a little bit more from here. Yeah, Sam said he got out of the sweep at break even. So Sam was trying to get in for a sweep over here at 44,375 or 735. Yeah, Sam tried to get it out from the sweep right there. Let's see, Steven said, Sean, I will need to change my risk back to 1,000 per trade for now, since the goal is only a few grand. Hope this is fine. Yeah, I mean, you could shift your risk to whatever you feel comfortable with, Steven. I'm only doing low risk right now because we're like in a, we're in this type of market where it's very tricky with regards to direction. So in the future, yeah, I'll probably up my risk back up to where it was originally, but right now I'm just keeping it where it's at least for now. I think the orb's pretty much done, guys. So the orb over here is done. Actually, it's still running. It's crazy. The orb is still hasn't hit the red yet. Um, so the 120 already hit for the orb here. The orb is still technically running for the 1 to 2, and now it's done. Okay. So the 50-50 here got hit for the orb. That's pretty much it. It got hit super quickly. Again, if you guys want to take the orb tomorrow, I'll mark up the orb for you. The 50-50 orb is going to be ideal, of course. But if you guys want to go for the, obviously the bigger orb, you guys are more than welcome. I have the data here from the orb strategy. Let me see. Yeah, so I have the data right here for February, or not February, for March. The heck? I don't know what happened to the data here. I'll have to recount the data, but the data was good here for so for February it was like break even, 7 wins, 7 losses. I don't know, this thing's all weird. Okay, here we go. I just updated it. It was just a data error. Yeah, so for February over here, the orb was one net win for 1 to 1. If you were to take the orb for 1 to 2, it'd be more wins. So total profit of 300 points for February for 1 to 2, total profit of 50 points for February. March over here is 50 points for March, 250 points for March for the 1 to 2. April, it was 100 to 300. So you can see over here, the long-term aspect of taking the orb for 1 to 2 is going to be beneficial. But if you're going to be taking the orb with multiple entries, then you probably want to stick to the 1 to 1, which is still good. Still good for the most part. So I'll keep testing the orb. The orb isn't that hard to test because it's one today. Um, yeah, the stats here are they're pretty good if you guys want to take the orb. So I'll keep looking at the orb every morning. I'll try to look at it with the regular breakout, but it's going to be hard because they come up around the same time. And I'll keep using that as a confluence. Unfortunately, today the 100-point orb didn't hit, so the confluence here didn't really line up like it did yesterday. But we'll see where this ends up going. Yeah, CJ said the thing I like about today's orb is that it hit the 50 mark twice. Yeah, so the orb's been hitting. I think we're on a win streak with the orb so far. Monday, yesterday, Tuesday, and then today for the 50 points at least. So it's been on a pretty nice streak. Steven said, so just because you were taking a 1 to 3 risk, doesn't that mean the win rate will be lower? I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be lower. It means my risk is lower. So I'm not taking 1 to 3 risk because I'm expecting to lose. I'm taking 1 to 3 risks to lower my risk. It's not like I'm lowering it because I'm expecting to lose. It's because I'm doing it to take less risk. We're in the summer market right now, Steven. So like obviously market here is going to be ranging a lot. So there's going to be a lot of entries here that fake out. So I'm not, I mean, I'm never planning to lose a trade, bro. Like that'd be dumb, right? Why would I plan to lose a trade? Like if I plan to lose a trade, I just wouldn't take it. But the thing with this market here is that not all trades are going to be equal, right? Like some of these here are going to be moving directional and some of them are going to be moving sideways. Like yesterday, we had a pretty directional market. I mean, even right here, for example, see how price was going downwards? It looked pretty directional overall, but the thing is we kept getting caught in these fake outs. Price would drop, but it would spike up before it would come down lower. So I mean the thing I mean the only thing that I can think of to really improve on this is really to adjust TP stop loss, like maybe use a 50-50 instead of a 30-30. But then again, it's a double-edged sword because then you're holding on to this position for too long. So I'm gonna stick with my 30-30. Um, and then my half risk is well one thirds, so I can take 3 trades per day. And then I'm going to have opportunities to recoup losses if I do take any losses. Let's see. Let's see. Brock said waiting for a red momentum, return to demand and balance on demand, give a green momentum, ride it back up. Yeah, I mean, we don't really know what's going to happen here, guys, because price is still kind of sitting around this area. Like I said before, these candles here aren't really moving very directional. Like for example, here we kept thinking price was going to come down lower, which it did, but we ended up getting these fake outs, like these big spikes up and then came back down, big spike up, came back down. Wasn't necessarily a smooth move to the downside. Same with this right here. Price is currently pushing up, but there's no retracements here. Price is it's just been climbing up slowly. So it's a slow little inch up. It's like a staircase versus, a nice push to the upside retracement, push back up like that. Let's see. Jonathan's asking, Sean, have you ever used Take Profit Trader prop company? So I've tried to use them a couple times. So I used them a long time ago, and the problem with using them back then was that they didn't allow for they call it micro scalping. Yeah, they want you to hold on to a position for a certain amount of time. I think now they're okay with it, but in the past that they weren't okay with with what they call micro scalping. Like they want you to hold on to a position for like at least 30 seconds. I don't think that's a rule anymore. That was a long time ago. So otherwise, I've heard that they're good. So other people have used them and I've heard good things about them. PC said he got out at 100 points, volatility too low for his peace of mind. Yeah, and I would have done the same thing too, PC. if that was the case. I was almost close to closing out this one right here. This was in profit about 28 points. It was off by 2 points because of, again, like you said, the low volatility. But I was trying to stick to my trading plan to hold on to that full move so that I could recoup my loss from earlier. But it's all good. I mean, it's just part of, it's part of trading. Yeah, I understand that losses are part of the game. There's no way to have like 100% win ratio. If that was the case, if that was the case, then you go full risk on every trade, but it's just not the case there. Sam said 15 ATR, sell response coming. Yeah, we're getting close to this area here. So we're currently at the S1 support, or I guess support turned into resistance. I don't think I ever marked up opening price. Huh? Opening price is right here. There we go. Rejection right there off a huge rejection off that support turn resistance. Did you get it right there at the support level? Yeah, that's a huge dump right there. I don't know what caused this dump right here, but this thing is dumping super hard, 60 points. I mean, obviously we had the support level right there, but that thing right there is huge. Yeah, this was the overnight low, initial support, and tested overnight. Yeah, PC said since I think since you're a momentum trader, you could maybe look more into supply and demand, a very big catalyst for momentum direction. Yeah, no, and I agree. I do have the levels here marked up with my prior demand, prior support, etc. And I'm using that as my points of confirmation for my liquidity sweeps. All right, let me clean this up. I haven't cleaned this up in a while. Yeah, this thing was a huge spike right there. I don't think there was any news. Let me see if there was any other news that came out right now. Any breaking news? So Trump announces US trade deal with Vietnam. All right, no updates there, but there was breaking news there with Vietnam. Take a look at that later. All right, so price broke below. Pretty much rejected off the opening range right here. No entries here for me to want to take at the moment. If you guys want to take a MPSV2, there could be a possible opportunity for entry over here. Nice. So Sam over here, he said he got in at 40 pips slippage, 15 pips. So you got out for 55. Nice. Nice work right there, Sam. Let's see, Brock said that V1 at 0.26, 7.26. Must have sucked in so many cells. Yeah, exactly. This candle is also engulfing. All right, so if you look at this from a bigger picture, I know right here it looks like it's a mess, but if you look on something like say the 5 minute or the 15, we're really just in a big range right here, guys. So that big range that I talked about from this morning, we're literally still within the range right here. So nothing here has really happened very much. So here on the 10 minute, this is a little more obvious. The 10 minute time frame, price is pretty much ranging within this area right now. Not too much here to really work with. All right, we are just waiting now for something here to come up. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Again, there's not really much here to yeah, there's not really much here to work with. We currently have a high right here. We have a low right here. Looks like this is just another range within the range. So we have the big range right here. Let me just, I was going to mark up a range here, but the thing is we already have support and resistance up here, so I don't want to mess this up. But we do have basically another range. I'll color this blue so it doesn't confuse people. Yeah, the range is like basically between these two blue zones right here. So literally the whole day we just had price ranging. There's not very much direction. I took a couple of directional entries, which was I guess my mistake in a sense. The thing is, it's hard to really tell when price is going to stay in a range or if it's going to break through. This is kind of how the market looked yesterday, but price broke out of the range and it went directional. So yeah, in a situation like this, the trade that you want to focus on would be the liquidity sweeps. But even so, there's not even liquidity sweeps here to take to begin with. And even if there were sweeps, there weren't really good setups here. Let's see. CJ said, "Hey Sean, I usually request payouts on Fridays from Apex, but since this Friday is a holiday, do you know if it's better to request today or just wait until Monday?" I mean, if your accounts are ready, I would probably just request today because you're probably gonna have to have a day turnaround anyways. Like if you do request it, it's probably not gonna get approved until tomorrow. So if you request it tomorrow, you're probably not gonna get approved until like Monday. Because I'm pretty sure they'll be closed. So for me personally, I'd probably do today. If you had the if you're ready for it. If you're not ready for it, then I just wait for next week. Yeah, you might as well. I mean, honestly, you might not even get approved for today if they're like, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are thinking the same thing. All right, guys, it is 7:52 right now. Again, there's not really much going on. Price is still going sideways right here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'll probably be wrapping this up pretty soon. Yeah, if you guys are looking to take any entries, there's just nothing around here. If you want to take a sweep area would be right here at 44,777. ATR is currently at 19 right now, so you probably want to take this for 2020. I just don't think price is going to push up here anytime soon. It might, but it looks like price is going to stay within this range right now for a bit. So I'm still taking partial risk on my trades, guys. I'm probably not going to increase my risk until, I mean, not until the end of summer, probably. So like for the rest of July, probably August, I'll probably keep it at a third of a risk. So I'm able to take 3 trades per day. And then as we get closer to like the spring, or I mean, it just depends on how the market's moving. If we have better volatility or better consistency with direction, then maybe I'll increase it to half risk. But I'm probably not going to go back to full risk anytime soon. I kind of like it like this. It's fine because like for example, today I took a couple losses, but I didn't really lose that much. I lost about 1,600, which very minimal compared to my full loss, which would be 2,500. So I'm still able to take one more trade if I wanted to, but I'm probably not going to take another trade today. Just going to eat that loss and move on to tomorrow's session. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, I think I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes, guys. 754 right now. Price is pretty much just going back and forth within this range. There's no other entries here to take at the moment. So, I mean, if you're looking to take a high low break and retest, your first level is going to be right here. So what you'd be looking for over here is you're going to look for price to break above, retest it, push up higher from there. Yeah, Shiv said no trades for me today. Been very reserved. Has made some bad calls this week. Catch you guys tomorrow. Yeah, definitely, Shiv. During times like this, it's probably better to sit on the sidelines, right? If your mental isn't 100%, plus like the setups here just aren't going your way. I mean, I'm glad I cut off right here because I could have tried to get back in for more entries, but once I took this trade right here, I already knew the market's not moving. It's not moving directional. It's not really moving smoothly. Otherwise, if you guys are just joining in or if you guys didn't see the entries for today, these are the entries that came up. We had a sweep that happened from up here. We had a high-low break and retest that lost right here. High-low break and retest that lost right there. MPS V2, high-low break and retest right here, which hit. So like basically these two would have canceled this out. This here would have won. And the 2-minute orb, 2-minute momentum orb hit full TP right here for 50 points. So overall, today was actually a pretty good day. It's just the trades I took didn't hit, unfortunately, but everything else here pretty much played out pretty nicely. Again, the orb here hit for 50 points. Sweep, these two didn't hit, but then these two over here did hit. MPS V2 and then high-low break and retest on this switch to the upside. This is why it's important that I lower my risk, because if I wanted to get back in, I could have gone back in for these other positions here. But all right, guys, I think that's it. There's nothing else really here to look at. Price is pretty much going sideways. We've got a flat market. ATR is currently at 18, so we're not really expecting too much volatility or movement. But yeah, I'm just gonna toss this day up and I'm gonna come back tomorrow fresh. Hopefully I can lock in a couple of wins and recoup my losses from today's trades. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So.